This is an application or a software that enables a computer which acts as a server to return response to another computer acting as a client over the web. Hello everyone, welcome to this beginner's friendly introduction to PHP. Whether you are a complete newbie or looking forward to refresh your skills, this video series will take you through the entire basics of PHP programming and also guide you in setting up your local development environment. Hi everyone, I am Apollos Geoffrey. Today we are going to dive into exploring PHP essentials. So pull up your writing materials together and let's get started. PHP stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. It is a powerful scripting language used for server-side application development and also used for developing practical applications. So you can use PHP for handling tasks like user inputs, processing forms, interacting with databases, creating dynamic web pages, and even much more. For example, you can create a contact form that sends email to a valid email address using PHP. You can also build a login system for users' authentication, or even develop a content management system, CMS, for your website. Let's quickly have an overview of the important events in the evolution or in the history of PHP. PHP was created in 1994 by Rasmus Ledorf, and it was written in C programming language. C is a high-level general-purpose programming language. So over time, PHP has continued to evolve into a powerful server-side scripting language used by millions of developers worldwide for web development. Initially, the acronym PHP stood for Personal Home Page. So as PHP continues to evolve and became more widely used, the meaning of the acronym changed from Personal Home Page to Hypertext Preprocessor. This changes attempts to reflect the fact that PHP is a server-side scripting language that preprocesses codes before generating HTML content for web pages. So PHP codes can be typically written within HTML, which allows you to mix up dynamic content with static web pages. So to get started with PHP, you will need a few essential tools and a suitable development environment. Remember in my recent video, I said interpreters are application softwares that translate high-level source codes into machine-readable program. So for this reason, we need to download the latest version of PHP Interpreter from its official website, php.net, based on your operating system if you are running a Windows, a Linux, or a Mac operating system. Another recommended tool is the text editor or an IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. So this is a software application for coding PHP. You can use simple text editors like Notepad++, which is basically meant for Windows operating system, or a Visual Studio Code, or probably go for other integrated development environments, the PHP Storm, the NetBeans, the Eclipse, etc. But most importantly, get the PHP plugins installed on your preferred integrated development environment. So basically, the tools needed for you to run a PHP program or a PHP source code is your integrated development environment or your text editor and your PHP interpreter. But there are other pieces of application we might begin to work with as time goes on. One of these includes a web server application software. This is an application or a software that enables a computer which acts as a server to return response to another computer acting as a client over the web. So you can download popular web servers application like Apache from the official Apache website, which is apache.org, or you download the jigs from its official website, among many other web server application softwares. So all you need to do is to properly choose the appropriate version that is meant for your operating system. Could be a Windows, a Linux, or a Mac operating system. and follow the installation instructions on the official website. Another optional tool you might need is the database management software. While a database is important for storing data using PHP, a database management software such as MySQL, which is a robust and widely used relational database management software, can be used for this purpose. You can download MySQL from its official website, mysql.com, and follow the installation instructions on the official website. Now let's walk through setting up our development environment, which includes PHP and an IDE or a text editor. So very importantly, I hereby recommend we download and install a local development environment. This is usually a piece of software application that includes PHP, Apache, MySQL, among other applications bundled together into one single application for easy setup. Popular examples of this local development application software include WAMP, which is practically designed for Windows operating systems. We also have the MAMP, which is also designed for the Mac operating system. And we have XAMPP, which supports both Windows, Linux, and Mac operating system, more like a cross-platform local development environment. And of course, I will recommend XAMPP since this is a cross-platform local development environment. All you need to do after installing XAMPP is to ensure that PHP is properly integrated and configured. Integrated Development Environment, or IDE, is another essential tool needed for us to set up our local development environment. So you could either choose an IDE or a text editor, but throughout this series, we are going to make use of the Visual Studio Code. So you can download the Visual Studio Code from its official website, code.visualstudio.com. And after the download, you can install the PHP extension for Visual Studio. This is to enable you to get some enhanced PHP development features. So right now, I'm going to head over to my browser where we're going to download these two pieces of application, our XAMPP local development environment and our Visual Studio Code. So now that I am on my browser, you can use any browser of your choice, could be Firefox, could be Chrome, Opera Mini, and many other ones. We go straight to the Google search engine and type XAMPP. Click on the first link, which is the apachefriends.org, to download your XAMPP local development environment. If you scroll a little bit down, you notice that XAMPP has its Windows version, Linux version, and the Mac operating system version. If you are running a Windows machine, you click on this link to download the XAMPP local environment for your Windows machine. Automatically, this will start downloading and you should see it in your download folder. If you are using a Linux operating system like mine, you click on this XAMPP for Linux, and so applies for the Mac users. I am currently running a Linux Debian operating system, precisely Ubuntu, but considering the fact that most of the people that are going to be watching this video are Windows operating system users, I'm going to quickly walk you through how you can install your XAMPP and VS Code on your Windows machine. Now you can just do the same thing that we've just completed in order to download your Visual Studio Code. You just go to Google and type in VS Code in the search box. You see the second link, which is the official link where we can download our Visual Studio Code. Click on it. And you can scroll to see the available distributions or versions of VS Code across different operating systems. We have the Windows, we have the Linux, which include the Debian distribution, and the Red Hat Package Manager distribution, as well as the Mac operating system version of the VS Code. We are more interested in the Windows version for those running on a Windows operating system, unlike myself who is currently running an Ubuntu Linux operating system. So you click here to download the Windows VS Code version. Notice that this only works for Windows 10 and 11 currently. So when you click, your download should start up automatically. So once these two pieces of software are downloaded into your machine, now we proceed for installation. Alright, so now that I've gotten a Windows machine to show you the installation processes of these two application softwares. So all you need to do is to locate the two files in your download folders. So once you double click on the XAMPP, let's begin with the XAMPP application. You should have the installation setup screen. You click on OK to proceed. You come down, click on Next. You can see all the applications incorporated into XAMPP. We have MySQL, FileZilla, PHP, MyAdmin, and many others. You just click on Next. Leave the default folder and click on Next, everything next. And your installation should begin. This installation usually will take some time, so I'm going to pause this video and we continue once our installation is completed. Alright, so now that our installation is done, you click on Finish and then you can see we have the control panel for XAMPP. We have the Apache, we have the MySQL. So you can click on the Start to start both any of the services. We start our Apache, we can also start our MySQL. So you have to allow the Windows Defender access to the XAMPP packages. And then you click on Start. So we've started our two applications, but these are not our problems for now. I think with time, we might even consider working with Apache. So we might just leave Apache on. I think that's fine for now. So let's quickly check if our PHP has been installed successfully. So all you need to do is to search out for this command prompt application. It's available on all operating systems. You have it on your Windows machine. Once the application is on with this black interface, here you just type php-v to check the version of your PHP. So you notice PHP was not recognized. So you come back to your file explorer, click on computers, and you look for the folder XAMPP, the application we've just installed. And here is it down here. So you click on it and look for the folder PHP. You see, we got PHP. You open the PHP folder and you quickly copy the paths to the PHP folder at the top. You just right click, you copy, and now we're going to go to our system environment so we can add this particular parts, this PHP parts. So you right click, click on properties. Alright. So we go for advanced system settings and then environment variables. So here we are going to click on new and then we are going to say paths as the variable name, and then we are going to paste that link that part we copied. So we're going to paste and then we're going to say OK, and we're going to say OK, and finally OK. So we're going to go back to our command prompt to check php-version. See, not recognized. We're going to close this command prompt and open it all over again. So command prompt and you click on it. So php-version. Perfect. So now you see we have PHP 8.2 installed on our machine. So we can run PHP effectively. So now we are going to quickly install the VS Code. You double tap. You accept the agreement, you select here, OK, and then you click on Next to proceed. Leave the default paths for the file installation. You say Next. We'll leave everything default. The application name will say Next. And then we can decide to create a desktop icon. And Next. So we'll proceed with the installation. So this will take some time as well. We'll just shorten up the video. So our installation is finished. Click on Finish and this is going to launch our VS Code. Few seconds. Excellent. So we have our VS Code installed on our machine. So we've successfully installed our VS Code and our XAMPP application. Now that we are on the same page, you have your VS Code and your XAMPP application installed on your local machine. I'm going to go back to my Linux operating system so we can continue with all other exercises. So congratulations, you have just successfully set up PHP. So that wraps up our beginner's guide to setting up our local development environment for PHP. I hope you've gained a solid understanding of this fundamental. We are going to explore more PHP features and coding concepts. Stay tuned for the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tutorials as we continue with this series on PHP basics. See you next time.